On this episode of Bulldog TV, we learn about the upcoming focus days and what they're all about. The 13th annual math relays were held right here at GHS. And Summit Tech is an amazing program that offers some great opportunities for students. And another program, Upward Bound, helps students prepare for college. We learn why students should probably purchase insurance on their MacBooks. A new teacher, Miss Welch, has joined the GHS staff this year. Winter sports have started, and the swim team is making strides. Hi, I'm Cree Hill. And I'm Demaja Basket. And this is Bulldog TV. You may have heard for your teachers and staff that Tuesday through Thursdays will be the GHS Focus Days. Let's check out what this means for our building.
Your teachers probably already told you about the Bulldog Focus Days, but what are they?
So the Bulldog Focus Days are going to be the 6th of December through the 8th of December, so that's Tuesday through Thursday. The idea of that is a time that we are going to be specifically working on certain activities in certain classes. Mainly it's going to be some standardized testing that's going to happen throughout the building. For example, the math and ELA classes are going to be doing standardized testing during that time. The rest of the building will function as normal. The bells will be on like normal. The classes will go on. You'll still learn stuff in other classes. The idea of it being that that's just a day specifically focused on testing.
Do students have to put their phones away?
So we're actually going to be asking students just to volunteer to do that, but we know that for many students, it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to do that and be able to manage. So for example, we're going to offer to give students paper bags where they can just put it in the phone, put it in the bag, wrap it up, staple it shut, set it right on the desk so it's never out of their sight. But they will be difficult for them to get in without everybody knowing. So that's going to be basically what we're doing with it.
Will there be more focus days next semester?
There's going to be some additional focus days. They'll lead into second semester some more focus days. It's at some point going to be a building where we want the academics to obviously be the forefront, and that the distractions are kept to a minimum.
We got this, Bulldogs. Aubrey Haney, Bulldog TV.
The GHS ELL department invited all ELL students, parents, and their families to a traditional American Thanksgiving. Guests also enjoyed Korean sushi and food from Mexico. While they ate, teachers talked about Canvas, SIS, and all the different academies. This 13th annual Prep KC Math Relays were hosted this year right here at GHS. Anaya went to the relays to cover this year's competition.
On November 12th, GHS hosted the annual Math Relays. This is the first year it's been hosted at our school. We speak with Dr. Franklin to know more about it.
This is a math bowl, like a math competition. Think of the Super Bowl, but with all the teams lining up and doing math. And it's a chance for once a year for all about 20 schools in the Grandview area to come together at one of the locations. This year it is here at our high school in our house. And so it's wonderful that over 20 Grandview students came out and represented in solving geometry, algebra, statistics, like data type problems, ACT type problems, and just kind of number sense, like percentages of the population that watch Netflix and stuff like that. It's a chance for students to have fun in math. That's really what it is.
The students would have stations they would go to and would rotate every hour. Here's one station our students were in.
We learned a lot of new stuff, and yeah, it's cool. The assessments, they wasn't hard. It's like kind of a little bit tricky, but it's not hard. It's like easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's very easy. Go Bulldogs, you know, we the best school, and yeah, nobody mess with us, period.
Dr. Franklin talks about how it's an exciting experience and wishes more students to be involved.
Well, I'm just excited to be a part of it. I think Grandview has wonderful students. My first year plus here has convinced me that there's so much potential that we just have to keep tapping into and cultivating and being like, let's do this. So we'll keep your eye open for more math events. We'll get in touch with the Bulldog news crew, and we'll maybe do some ones even just at Grandview during either advisory or after school. We'll do a math team. And I just think math is more fun. I hate to say it, but if you take anything and you put it in school and everyone has to do it and you have to listen and sit down, and it's not as much fun as if you can just do it and just pull in your resources. And I'm not knocking school. I obviously think there's a place for it. But I think math needs to go beyond the walls of the school. And I think it does that to anybody who's lucky enough to have teachers. I'm where I am today because I had teachers who loved math and who loved to help me see what they loved about math. So that's what I'm looking for.
Congratulations to our students who all won an activity. And I, Woodcock's Bulldog TV.
Who doesn't love pizza? Seniors got together with the Grandview Police Department for pizza and police on November 30th during lunch. They ate pizza and played games in the South Gym. This gave students a really great chance to see the officers in our community in a different light. And it looks like everyone had a great time.
Have you ever heard of Summit Tech? Well, Keegan went along on the field trip with students on November 16th to see what Summit Tech has to offer.
On November 16th, interested GHS sophomores and juniors attended a field trip to Summit Tech Academy. There, students took tours from student program ambassadors based on which program caught their interest. Summit Tech offers programs like digital media technology, computer integrated manufacturing, and international studies.
At Summit Tech, there is a focus on specific areas of careers.
STA is like a kind of career center type of vibes. It gives you more of a real learning experience. And in our program for international studies, we get more experience for doing projects with other countries and other schools and communities and stuff, and not stay with that structured traditional learning.
At Summit Technology Academy, we really get to get hands-on experience on different type of careers that we were looking into in the future. And there's several different things you could choose from, several different classes.
Students learned about the requirements on how various programs will help them achieve their job of choice.
The field trip was very educational and very fun, and I was able to interact with other students, which they helped me understand what the labs and questions were like and what all I needed to do to participate in this program.
The Summit Tech program is made in a way where you can attend morning or afternoon sessions and come back to the high school later. Email your academy counselor about how you can attend the program. Keegan Adcock, Bulldog TV.
On November 21st, a ribbon cutting happened celebrating the completion of the I-49 Outer Road. This is a $15 million project that broke ground in the summer of 2021 and finished on time. The Blue and Gold Brigade performed at the ceremony. We are all glad the construction is over.
There are many programs here at GHS. Jaden checked out Upward Bound that helps students prepare for college.
Upward Bound is a program being offered to students at Grandview High School. Upward Bound is a program focusing on helping kids get to college.
My favorite part about Upward Bound is just giving back to the students and paying it forward. I was in this exact same Upward Bound program about 6 years ago, so my favorite part is just giving back to the program they gave me.
There are some requirements to getting into Upward Bound.
The requirements to join, you must be a U.S. citizen or a resident alien. You must have a 2.5 GPA. You must be first generation or low income or both. So those are some of the requirements for Upward Bound.
There are many benefits to joining the Upward Bound program.
I think Upward Bound positively affects students academically and socially. From an academic standpoint, we provide a lot of tutoring resources for students to keep their grades up, which makes them eligible for a lot of the scholarships that we help students apply for. And then socially, it's a good opportunity to make new friends who are like-minded and interested in going to college and interested in career development.
Students at Upward Bound often love the program.
That it gives me an opportunity to catch up on work and do better in classes.
Upward Bound is a great way to get into college. Jane Lane, Bulldog TV.
Miss Houston's Kansas City history class went on their third and final field trip on November 17th. They traveled to the Northeast to check out Little Italy, talked about mob history, rode the streetcar, visited Union Station, and had lunch at Arthur Bryant's. How do I know this? I was there.
Student MacBook computers get broken because students are being careless. Kobe learned why the MacBook insurance is so important.
Broken MacBooks are a big problem, with up to 5 broken computers a week at GHS. Many people don't have MacBook insurance, and that's why it's something that's very important.
We deal with a couple of different types of damage. Like I said, we do have some minor issues, which probably the most common of the minor issues are trackpad.
Especially the new ones, they crack super easy if you have anything in it when you close it.
Newer models of the MacBooks seem to be a little more fragile than the older models of the laptops. I don't know why Apple made that decision. When
your screen is going to be $80, you liquid damage, it's going to be $310, and then obviously if you lose it, $800. Those are the most common ones that happen. Chargers are $32 if you lose your charger. This year, it's too late to get insurance. This deadline was November 1st, so we're past that. If you don't have insurance, you should be prepared to pay whatever the fees are. I mean, you could drop it in a pool and completely it has to be replaced, and you're covered if you get the insurance for $45 in the case when you put them in your backpack, because y'all carry food and random junk in your backpack. That's how a lot of the liquid damage happens. So like, I never did anything, I never spilled anything, but you didn't even know it happened.
In the future, it might even be required to get MacBook insurance before students are issued a computer.
Kids damage their MacBooks.
Probably the most I see are damaged keyboards, where keys get popped off, the actual keyboard structure gets damaged.
And you are covered for, I mean, you could drop it in a pool and completely we only require students pay 40% of the damage, so 60% is going to the district. Even if you don't spill something directly on it, there's a lot of ways that stuff can happen to it that you're not even really aware of.
The newer models of laptops seem to get broken easier, so be careful. Colby Beck, Bulldog TV.
On November 17th, Ms. Bogert took her students on a Pathways to Design field trip to the Kansas City Art Institute. They also had the opportunity to work with some graphic design professors and students to experiment with typography. We're 4 days into our 12 days of holiday fun.
But don't worry, there's still time to participate in these holiday-themed activities.
Check out the upcoming dates and get your outfits ready. A new special education teacher, Miss Welch, has joined the GHS staff. Aubrey got to know her and found out what inspired her to become a teacher.
The Grandview staff has many new faces. One of them is Miss Morgan Welch. She is a new science resource teacher. Right now she is co-teaching with Dr. Isom.
Oh yeah, I love Grandview. This is my first year here, and I love Grandview. I would love to stay here.
Miss Welch always wanted to be a teacher.
Well, my mom was a teacher from when I was really little. Sometimes I would be in the same building that she was teaching in, and that was always a lot of fun to see her do what she does and meet all of her students and how much all of her students had good relationships with her. So I really wanted to kind of have that when I grew up.
She went to many schools as a kid, but she graduated here in Missouri.
I was raised kind of all over the place. My dad was military, so I lived in multiple different states. I went to 12 different schools before I graduated high school.
Miss Welch also has a life outside of school.
I'm not married, but I am engaged. I got engaged last year, and I have a wedding next year to a very fancy little guy. And I have no children. I do have a little brother and a little sister. My little brother's 20, so he's not really little. I have a little sister who's 5. And yeah, she was born while I was in college.
Miss Welch has her students and her fur kid, Delta Rose.
These are my kids. I like hanging out with high schoolers and hanging out with them.
She always tries to make every day fun for the students.
She's a really fun teacher at all.
She leaves a great impact on all of her students.
When she first came into the classroom, I thought She was a sub, but she told us that she was one of our teachers. And basically, we started being sarcastic. She started being sarcastic back, and it just went on from there. And we just started laughing. Our class is fun. She makes it fun. We make it fun. We all just get along in that class.
Miss Welch also tries to be a friend with all of her students.
I'm not really one of the mom teachers, but I'm more like a cool older sister teacher.
We hope that our cooler older sister has a great year at GHS. Aubrey Haney, Bulldog TV.
GHS has many sports teams. However, some don't get as recognized as others. Carlos dove in deeper to learn more about the GHS swim team.
Did you know that Grandview High School has a swim team full of amazing members and coaches? One of them being Miss Hatcher, assistant coach for swim team.
My second year coaching swim here at Grandview High School. I started coaching just because I have an interest in swimming. I have a background in swimming just casually for pleasure. My high school was too small to have a swim team, but I grew up in the pool, and so it was something I felt confident helping out with, and I'm happy to help the girls get better at their swimming skills. So I feel like our role as a coach is just to encourage beyond, teaching our new swimmers how to swim, but just being that person that can just push and encourage each person to grow in their skills.
You can sense the effects that coaches have by members of swim team alone.
I think swimming helps you in a lot of ways, like physically and emotionally. Like it helps you get stronger and helps your lungs and helps your upper body strength, but it also helps you like socially because you make a lot of friends, and it helps your emotional health and your like well-being. Like sometimes you get tired and you don't want to do anything, but swim team is just like it pushes you to get out of bed and do things. It takes a lot. You gotta have upper body strength, lower body strength. You gotta have good.
For more information about being a part of the swim team, please contact Miss Hatcher or Burham. Carlos Finas, Bulldog TV.
Congratulations to our GHS senior soccer standout, Diego Alvarenga, who was selected to the Class 3, Region 3, All-Region team and was named the All-State Honorable Mention. The first ever Grandview soccer player ever given this recognition. What an accomplishment. There's several important dates that are coming up.
That's it for this episode of Bulldog TV.
To view this episode and others, check us out on Twitter at GHS Bulldog TV or at theghsstudent.com.
I'm Demaja Basket.
And I'm Cree Hill. See you soon.